$800. That's how much my life was worth to my parents. $800 for an emergency appendectomy, the surgery that would save my life. I was 22, a college student. No insurance, no savings, and when I called my parents begging for help, my mother said, "We don't have that kind of money, Sarah. You're an adult now, figure it out." Then she hung up. My father didn't even answer. I sat in that clinic waiting room, doubled over in pain, wondering if I was going to die because my parents wouldn't pay $800. But someone was watching. The receptionist. A woman I'd never met before that day. She saw me crying, she heard my call, and she did something my own parents refused to do. She paid my bill, every penny, and then she exposed them. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how a stranger saved my life, and how my parents lost everything because of $800. My parents were not poor, let me be clear about that. My father was a regional manager for a pharmaceutical company. My mother was a real estate agent. They drove luxury cars. They took vacations to Europe. They renovated their kitchen twice in 5 years, but when it came to me, there was never enough money. I needed braces. Too expensive, your teeth are fine. I needed tutoring. We can't afford it. Study harder. I needed a laptop for college. Use the library computers. I learned early not to ask. Asking meant rejection. Rejection meant pain. I worked through high school, saved every penny. Got scholarships to a state college. I never asked my parents for a dime, not because I didn't need it, because I knew they wouldn't give it. They had made it clear my whole life. I was a responsibility, not a joy. An expense, not an investment. When I moved into my dorm, my mother handed me a $50 gift card to Target and said, "This should cover your basics. Don't ask for more." That was my send-off. $50? I called home once a month. My mother talked about her new car, her upcoming cruise, her kitchen renovation. She never asked how I was, never asked if I needed anything. I stopped expecting her to. I had learned. Asking meant hearing no, so I stopped asking, until the day I had no choice. It started as a stomachache. I thought it was stress. Finals were coming up, but by the third day I couldn't stand straight. The pain was sharp, localized, terrifying. I Googled my symptoms. Everything pointed to appendicitis. I knew I needed a doctor. I knew I needed help, but I also knew I had no insurance, no savings, and no family who would care. The clinic was small, low cost for people like me. The receptionist, a woman named Mrs. Chen, took my information. She had kind eyes. "Do you have insurance, sweetheart?" she asked gently. I shook my head. I'll pay out of pocket. How much will it be?" She looked at her screen. "For the consultation and tests, around $200. If it's appendicitis and you need surgery, it could be several thousand." Several thousand. I didn't have several hundred. I called my mother first. It rang 6 times. Voicemail. "Mom, it's Sarah. I'm at the clinic. They think it might be appendicitis. I need help with the bill." "Please call me back." I called my father. Same. "Dad, please, I don't know what to do. I need $800 for the surgery, please." I sent texts. I left messages. I begged. Nothing, not a single call back. Not a single text. I found out later where they were. My mother was at a spa. My father was on the golf course. They saw my messages. They ignored them. $800. That was too much to save their daughter's life. I sat in that waiting room for 2 hours. The pain was getting worse. The doctor had confirmed it, acute appendicitis. I needed surgery. Soon. But without payment, they couldn't admit me. I was trapped, dying because of $800, and then Mrs. Chen came and sat beside me. "I heard you on the phone," she said softly. "Your parents." "They won't help." I shook my head, unable to speak. "I have a daughter your age," she said. "If she called me like that, I would sell everything I own to get to her." She squeezed my hand. "Wait here." She came back 10 minutes later. She handed me a receipt. "It's paid," she said. "The surgery, all of it, it's taken care of." I stared at her. I can't." "How?" She smiled. "I paid it. You can pay me back someday, or not, just get better. That's all I want." I broke down, right there. In that ugly clinic waiting room, a stranger, a receptionist. had shown me more love in 10 minutes than my parents had in 22 years. The surgery was successful. Mrs. Chen visited me every day. She brought me soup. She told me about her daughter. About how she came to this country with nothing. About how she worked 3 jobs to give her daughter a better life. Money is just money, Sarah, she said. Family is what matters, and sometimes family is who shows up. She showed up. My parents didn't even call to see if I survived. After I recovered, Mrs. Chen asked to see the messages, the calls, the proof. I showed her. She looked at my phone for a long time, then she looked at me. They need to know, she said quietly. People need to know what kind of people they are, not for revenge, for accountability. They left you to die, Sarah. That's not okay. I nodded. I was tired of protecting them, tired of making excuses, tired of being invisible. Mrs. Chen helped me write it, a post. On the local community Facebook page, we didn't name my parents directly, but we included everything else. The screenshots, the timeline. The receipt showing the bill was paid by a clinic employee. The post asked one question: if a stranger can pay $800 to save a stranger's life, why couldn't her own parents? It went viral. Not national viral, community viral, the kind that matters. Within 24 hours, everyone knew: my mother's real estate clients, my father's pharmaceutical colleagues, their friends, their neighbors. The post had been shared over 1,000 times. People were calling them out. Isn't this your daughter? Why didn't you pay? You have a Mercedes but couldn't pay $800 to save your child, my mother called me, furious. How dare you embarrass us like this? Do you know what people are saying? I listened. And then I said, I know exactly what they're saying, Mom. They're saying what I've been trying to tell you my whole life, that you failed me. And now everyone knows. She hung up. We haven't spoken since. That was 3 years ago. I graduated college last spring. Mrs. Chen was in the front row. She cried more than anyone. I paid her back the $800. It took me 2 years of working extra shifts, but I did it. She tried to refuse. I insisted. You taught me that money isn't love, I told her. But repaying kindness is. She cried again. So did I. My parents, they moved to a different town. My mother's real estate business suffered. People didn't want to work with someone who wouldn't help their own dying daughter. My father's colleagues looked at him differently. He retired early. They still drive nice cars. They still take vacations, but they lost something they can't buy back: their reputation, their standing, the respect of people who matter. All because of $800. My parents refused to pay my $800 medical bill. They left me to die, and they would have gotten away with it if it weren't for a receptionist. A woman who earned in a month what my parents spent on a weekend trip. She paid my bill, and then she helped me expose them, not out of revenge, out of love. The kind of love my parents never gave me. The kind of love I finally learned I deserved. If you've ever been told you're not worth the cost, this story is for you. Subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if a stranger paid your bill and exposed your family? I'll be reading every single one. Until next time, know your worth. It's more than $800. It always was.